Welcome, everyone. This is the BumCast. I am your host, HBIC, the head bum in charge, along with Bologna and the Southside Bum. And I am very, very sleepy right now, guys. So I'm gonna power through this podcast as much as I can. But I'm pulling a Tony La Russa right now, falling asleep in the first inning.
It's a 2-day hangover. I knew it was going to happen. I knew we were going to hit a wall. We're going to talk about your birthday party later in the show. Um, you turned 40. We're hot on your heels. And we went hard. We kind of went hard all week, and at least I did.
Yeah, no,
Sox game,
Sox game on
birthday
Friday,
party. It's a lot for people our age
and then
nowadays.
this might be my flu game.
And like I said, we'll tease the party talk and the videos that we've been pushing out there all day today. We'll tease that for later in the show, but I do want to credit you for just being alive, because I didn't think you were going to make it there for a second.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. But first off, let's start with some White Sox talk. And the game's going on right now, and we still suck. It's 2-0, seventh inning. Apparently, we still can't hit home runs at Guaranteed Rate Field. We took 2 out of 3 from the Astros, the Athletics. So, yay for that.
Big difference.
We should have swept them. But anyways, the offensive firepower is still there. And the big thing I want to talk about today is not the week that the Sox had, but the inactivity that, once again, Rick Hahn, another trade deadline comes along, and he's getting cucked left and right from other teams. So we got one guy today we traded for. We got rid of Reese McGuire. He can go spunk his way down over in Boston. And we got Jake Dickman now. So we got traded one dick for another dick. Whatever. So we got a left-handed bullpen arm now. So once again, that's apparently all we need for this team, right? Is just bullpen arms. We don't need right field. We don't need second base. We don't need people who can hit home runs. We don't need people who can who can play defense. We don't need people who know how to run bases. No, let's just get fucking all the bullpen and pitching that we can instead of trying to actually win fucking games with our bats. It's infuriating, but we
do need a bullpen help. We talked about this last episode.
But we can't just keep focusing on bullpen.
I agree. And what I wanted to bring up to you guys is what's worrying me more and more is Lubob, and the fact that they're hiding whatever it is that's ailing him, and they've kind of been wishy-washy on it. He was down in Charlotte and now he's back, but he's still not ready, and now he's going to be gone for the whole Royals series. If that's the case, don't you think you have to go make a splash and go have some outfield depth? We've been talking about right field, and Gavin Sheets is not the answer. Now I'm worried about having a center fielder for the rest of the season, because it's obvious they don't know what's going on with Lubob.
Yeah,
and
the
more he's gone, the more you're going to need depth in the outfield. So I thought for sure that was going to happen today. And now they got less than 24 hours for them to do it, because like you said, I agreed with them last week when they were saying we need bullpen arms, and everyone's hurt, and I agree with all of that, but you still need to add a bat, and you need to add an outfielder badly. Otherwise, you're sunk.
So let's not go for Juan Soto. Let's try to trade for Ohtani. That was bullshit too. That was fucking.
You could
off,
go ahead.
That was off the fucking wall today. Seeing that report that they made an offer to Ohtani, but then the Angels decided they're not going to trade him. They're going to hold on to him.
So Josh Nelson made a good point. There's no way they made an offer for Ohtani. They made a phone call, and that's a big difference. But because I don't think they have anywhere near what it takes for Soto or Ohtani, and the fact that that story leaked out there today is just another one of the classic Jerry Reinsdorf GMs. Whether it's Garpax or Jerry Krause in the 90s, or now Kenny Williams and Rick Hahn. It's you leak these stories saying see, we were in it and we were trying, but then nothing ever happens. And that's the story of Jerry Reinsdorf teams, is between trades and free agencies, nothing ever happens.
No, we didn't get Quintana. He's going to the Cardinals. Basically, Jock Peterson was rumored, I think, for the Mets or Atlanta. Remember, there's so much stuff going on today. But basically, everyone that the Sox were trying to target or were rumored to be wanting to target, they missed out on. And I don't know if they were actually the only ones in on Dickman, but whatever. We need more than just another bullpen arm. We need fucking offense, man. We need some home runs. I would love to, like, the fact that the Angels would even consider trading Ohtani right now. I mean, well, that organization is probably more poorly run than the Sox are. But if you're gonna try to make a serious offer for Juan Soto because you have him control, start any package with Eloy and Moncada. That's my start with those two guys.
That's not enough.
No, but that
it's
start with
got to
them,
be like
throw in.
It's gonna be like Vaughn and Luis. Like that's what they're gonna want back. Obviously you start one way and then you give up another.
Yeah, but I'm saying
Sox, your guys are delusional. Sox fans thinking they're anywhere near Juan Soto's, like what they're asking for is not happening.
No,
and that's what I've been saying last week. It's like
I was saying maybe you start with like two major leaguers, Eloy and Moncada, then you throw in like Colson Montgomery and then like a couple other like top guys in the system, and maybe that's a start, but maybe I don't know, but at least try. Don't take your name out of the running right away.
But it's the same thing. Go ahead, Jay.
I don't want him. One person is not going to change this organization. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Juan Soto is not Babe Ruth. Juan Soto is not like this. Everybody thinks he's like this magical person that's going to change a franchise. I'm sorry. I'd rather keep Luis. I know he's hurt and stuff like that. I'd rather keep him and not trade our whole whoever. Like Moncada, yeah. Elo, yeah. I'm fine with that. But I'm not trading any other our core pieces for this guy. I'm sorry. It's just not worth it for me. I don't even want to be a part of discussions. I know we're not even at the table, so I'm not even worried about this part, but all this Juan Soto talk is it's just nonsense because like I said, one guy is not going to change this Sox franchise around. All these trade talks and everything. I'm kind of surprised people are asking for like, oh, we need to get this person, we need to get that person. Do you realistically think if we get anybody that's going to change anything about this team? This team has been nothing but a disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. I don't think trading anything is going to change anything one bit about this team. No. You tell me. You think trading anything is going to change, like get us into the playoffs? Yeah, I get it. We're 3 games back, 2 games back, whatever. This team is not going to go to the World Series. We're going to be another disappointment again going into the first round. Giolito's not been pitching. Anybody has not been to their par. I just don't think trading anybody. If we were going to do anything, tweak this team. We need to tweak this team. You got to figure out what you're going to do. And Han right now, I just don't think he knows what he's doing. Obviously, because he's just standing put over here. But just to me, I just don't think he knows what we should do. And that's why we just get this guy for Reese McGuire. I don't know. It's very obviously this is a very disappointing season. I'm not giving up on this team, but just the fact that about trading pieces here left and right, I just don't think it's going to change this team to get us even to the World Series or ALCS or whatnot.
So that's what we mentioned.
I just want to say I love Beer Garden Jim's comment there. Yes, Jerry would definitely make that to help turn that franchise around if he was.
Yeah, and that was my main talking point for today was not just the players not doing anything, but it's Rick Hahn, it's Jerry Reinsdorf. It's the same thing we've complained about with most Chicago owners. I mean, since we started this podcast, but most of our lives basically, we're just so far behind the Astros and the Yankees and the Dodgers of the world that Johnny, you mentioned it. It's like Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani, that we're not one piece away. We are a lot of pieces away. And yes, we can, stumble our way into a division championship, but we saw what happened the last 2 playoff runs. Like we're far off. And so that's why I don't want to mortgage the future on these guys. I'm not saying these guys aren't superstars. I love both of them. But we're so far away that you have to keep Luis Robert. You have to keep Colson Montgomery. You have to keep all these guys because those are the guys you build a team with. And our window is not closed by any means. Our window is closing fast because of Rick Hahn and Tony La Russa. And yes, the team is underperforming. And a lot of the time, the bats are gone cold at home, which I have no explanation for. But realistically, I'm not putting it all on the players as much as I'm putting on, Tony, Rick Hahn and Jerry.
Yeah, no, it's right. Like unless the bats wake up, like getting one guy isn't gonna. You're right. It's not gonna change anything. Like we need at least 3-4 other pieces just to start actually making some noise around here, and it's just gonna be one of those things where we get someone and they're either going to get dragged down with the rest of this team's offensive woes, or he's going to get injured again because we seem like we can't just get the injury bug. It's like everyone's talking about Oscar Colas and how he's fucking tearing up, triple or double A right now. Like I made the tongue in cheek comment the other day. Like I can't wait for him to get called up and pull a hammy right away. Because that's 100% what's going to happen. He's going to get called up in next season, and then April, him and Lou Bob are going to be on the IL with groins and hammies already. Like it's just a White Sox curse, man. Like I don't know how you ever get around that, but I don't really know what to do. Like I can't explain it. And we got one more day for the trade deadline. I don't know what other bats are out there for the Sox to actually get. It seems like Quintana's off the market. Who's the pitching target now? Like, we're just going to focus on bullpen. We're not going to go for a starter now. I really don't know, unless this is just something's going to materialize and manifest in the next 24 or what is it, like 15 hours now or something like that. When the trade
we're less
ends.
than 24 hours away.
Yeah.
What's the two other things I had written down, and it's more just hot stove in general and stuff like that. I mean, the last day and a half has been insane on Twitter. Like I had it written down. Eyeball emojis are like a weapon of mass destruction when it comes to Twitter right now. Like anybody posting an eyeball emoji, I'm looking, I'm refreshing, and it's borderline reckless at this point. But that's our only hope, and that's what's sad. We should be running away with this division. We shouldn't be in this position, and we are. And now we're just hoping that one more move or two more moves, and it just hopes and prayers at this point. So it's sad.
And
I mean, Beer Garden Jim is right. Like Joey P is right. Like this team is toast, but like we had such high expectations. Like I don't know. I'm just like waiting for something to turn around, and it's just not happening.
But see, this is what the difference between like the Mets, the Yankees, and the Dodgers are, because they actually spend money on free agents. They actually pay big boy contracts. So then, because you got these big guys tied in for 5, 6 plus 7+ years, you have that farm system then that just keeps on growing and growing, because you have no room for these prospects because they're all like just bogged down by the high price free agents that you sign. So then, yeah, if you need a caliber starting pitcher for a playoff, you can send 5, 6 prospects because you don't need them unless you get like a major injury or something. But if that's the case, the Yankees just go out, Dodgers just go out and they just sign the next top free agent next season, you'll never see that from the White Sox until Jerry's gone. They'll never play in the big leagues with the contract wise. They'll never do 7, 10, 12-year deals on guys. They'll never pay out, that 30, 35 million a year. That's going to be the new norm it already is the new norm now, but probably going to start seeing that creeping in the 40s for some of these guys in the next couple of years. Until he's gone, we're going to keep on getting cucked by all the big spenders, and nothing's going to change.
Getting cucked is never fun.
No, I don't know how Han sleeps at night by constantly.
Well, I know how he sleeps. He sleeps with his money underneath his mattress.
Yeah, they sleep like babies. They don't care.
Yeah, they don't care. They don't care.
Meanwhile, we're motherfucking online and tweeting and Instagram, hating the world. They sleep like babies. The one thing you mentioned about developing players and what should worry us, like in the long run, is like the White Sox for the like the better part of the last 5, 6, 7 years, the only thing they were able to develop is bullpen arms. Like, and now that well has run dry. It's like that should be worrisome, because that's like the only thing they were able to do consistently for the better part of, like 5 years or so. And now it's like that's donezo.
Yeah. And like we got Dickman right now, and I said fucking La Russa will still roll out Foster and Ruiz every fucking day. Like it's a sad reality, but he has his guys that he just is set on and wants to play every day. And unless we get a couple more arms to give those guys a break, every time I see Foster and Ruiz in there, I just throw my hands up, and it's like, all right, I guess we're punting this game now, because very rarely do they actually like somehow manage to hold down the lead or keep it, or like make the damage even less than it should be. But yeah, Let's see what it's gonna be 24 hours.
They're losing
Interesting
still.
to see what happens tomorrow.
I've got it on the second monitor. They're losing. What's crazy about this team, and I don't know, maybe it's just me being foolish or blinded by optimism and stuff like that. The fact that they haven't won 3 home wins in a row and it's August, that should let you know.
That is ridiculous.
That should let us know how serious this team is. If you can't string together 3 wins in a row at home, and it's August 1st, and that's what we're like hoping for. It's like, oh, maybe we could beat Kansas City Royals to win our 3rd straight home game. Like we talk about bums of the week at the end of the show. These guys, that's a bum ass stat, dude.
Well, Twins just tied up the game, so unless the Sox pull a miracle out of their ass tonight, we're gonna get down another game tonight. Because I feel like the even though the Twins tied, I feel like they're gonna come back and win it somehow. I could be wrong. Hopefully, I'm wrong. So
yeah, that's all I got Sox wise.
That's all I got. Sox
we could keep going on and on, but
no, because what else are we gonna talk about? Just them getting cucked up in fake Otani offers that I'll offer you want this burger, dude. Like, no. No, I do want to talk.
No, we should mention TA bumping the ump. People were pissed about that. I don't care. At least he's showing some fire. Honestly, like this team's been sleepwalking the whole season. Like I care. Like, I'm okay with it.
I understand you can't touch the ump, and they're just so fucking anal about that. Like that was such a fucking pussy ass touch though. They called him like the brim of his hat touched the brim of the other ump's hat. And
his reaction was such bullshit too.
He jumps back whoa, you can't, you touched the brim of your hat touched my hat. Yeah. Like, oh, I got you now. You're gonna get your 3 games. Like, that's just he didn't shoulder check him. He didn't
spit on him like a Roberto Alomar.
Him in the fucking hat. That's like Jesus Christ. Like that's the biggest pussy ass fucking suspension I've ever seen to consider contact of an ump.
Yeah, and the people I saw it online and stuff. Like people were pissed. Like you can't be doing that in a division race and stuff like that. Like we've complained about the passion on this team for the whole season. Like at least he showed like he gave a fuck and like there was some fire in him. Most of this team is sleepwalking, like I said. Like so, I wasn't mad about it, but obviously the reaction of the ump was the funny part about it was just like he got bumped and he's like, "Oh, you touched my hat." I'm like, whatever, this is bullshit.
Yeah, and also on that same thing, fucking La Russa with his 30-second delay of getting out in the dugout to pull TA away from that. Like, come on, man. Like we all made the jokes that if it was Lori out there, he would be fucking doing his full
sprinting.
Yeah. But the fact that I love TA's passion, and it sucks that he got suspended. He's appealing it. Hopefully they knock it down a game or two. Because it's just the most pussy ass fucking contact you could possibly imagine with that.
Yeah.
I
just figured we should mention it.
Yeah. So, but I want to talk some Bears too, because training camp started obviously, and we get our first full practice for the Bears in pads tomorrow. So I can't wait for all the injury reports to come out tomorrow and say who's hurt now for the Bears now that the pads are on. But the big news is that reports came out today that from Ian Rappaport that the Bears are fielding offers now for Tevin Jenkins. And we haven't seen him in training camp. He hasn't played. He's had mysterious injuries. The team's not releasing any information of what's wrong with him. It sounds to me like Ryan Poles is just like, fuck this guy. Like,
yeah,
you're not my dude. You need to leave.
And that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah. So, he's a 2nd round pick, but it's not like he did anything last season to justify his 2nd round. We know he was hurt majority of the time, so he didn't come back to week 10 or 11 or something like that. So he played.
Yeah, he only played a
few games. So at this point, what are you going to get for him? Maybe a 6th, a 5th, if you're lucky. Like you're not gonna get jack shit for him, for a guy who's played a 1/3 of a season and now can't even hit the field already because either he's injured or just Poles doesn't want him out there. But I thought that was interesting that just Poles, it seems like he's not going to be like, I don't care about your draft position. Like,
yeah,
you're not cutting it. You're fucking out.
And we're getting haunted by the ghost of Ryan Pace, right? Like we knew Ryan Pace was dog water and we were still paying for his mistakes. And I'm glad that Ryan Poles said, like, if he's not going to cut it, like he has no attachment to him. And with jury is still out on Ryan Poles, by the way, like we've talked about in previous podcasts. Like, I'm not convinced he is the guy or not, but at least he's, decisive in what he thinks is right or wrong, or like the players and stuff like that. I'm just worried, like, we're not giving him a shot. Like, he's been on the job for what, six months at this point. But to the people complaining that like Tevin Jenkins hasn't like been good or been bad, like, give him a shot. Like, Ryan Poles has developed two different offensive lines with Kansas City. Like, they had a really good offensive line, lost players, revamped it again. Like, if anything, he should know what offensive linemen work for the Bears and who doesn't. So if it's Tevin Jenkins that needs to get the X, he's gonna get the X, and I'm okay with it. Like, realistically, we thought he was gonna be good, but there's no proof.
I don't usually like to promote sports mockery because I think their fucking content kind of sucks most of the time. But there was an interesting tweet from their Bears guy about all the draft picks that he took as offensive linemen in his era. So they took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pace took 9 offensive linemen in his time. And not in any order, but here is the results. Torn ACL, cut as rookie, good. Cut as rookie, no second contract, nope. Trade candidate, average starter, maybe. So you take 9 linemen and you have one good one and one maybe average starter. Like, that Ryan Pace is just going to haunt it. Like, you always say in football, like, you draft bad, you set your team back for 4 or 5 years.
Well, not only that, but I mean, you had it there. So he drafted 9 in his tenure. Tevin Jenkins was the only one like 5th round or higher. Like, it was always like end of the draft guys.
Yeah.
And we always talk about, like, starting in the trenches, and we need big fat guys on both sides of the ball. Like, that's what we're looking for. He wasn't drafting the guys. And the fact that this guy was his only, offensive lineman drafted in the first 4 rounds or whatever. And obviously, like Beer Garden Jim says, like, he was drafted with a bad back. So it was like, I mean, what the fuck did we expect?
Yeah, that's just another boneheaded decision from Pace back then. I don't know. I mean, Poles got kind of the same issue with Larry
Ogunjobi.
Yes, I can never say his name right. But that was the tampering period, so it's not like he signed.
They didn't have medicals, and
right, they didn't have the medicals, and so
he trusted his staff to not sign him. Which we talked about it before, is like, if he's good enough for the Steelers on an incentive-laden deal, why wasn't he good enough for the Bears? But that's not like that in the past now.
Yeah. And my last note about training camp here is I've been following like Brad Biggs and his sideline reports and everything. Brian Pringle might be the worst fucking receiver we have right now, because every tweet I see is him like getting a dime of a pass and him just brickhanding it. Like, Fields threw this pass right down the middle, like, perfectly, and then dropped by Pringle, or it bounced off Pringle's hands and it was picked off by Gorin or whatever. Like, everything I see from this wide receiver group so far is bad news, except maybe Cole Kmet. Peter, you can comment that in a second after Johnny here. But
I'll let Johnny go first.
I haven't heard anything about some Darnell Mooney plays here. That's kind of concerning me that he's not being mentioned at the moment.
It's early in training camp, like, for us to be speculating.
We need. I want some good news, man.
That's true.
Okay, realistically, this team ain't gonna go anywhere this year. So I don't care if Pringle he's not catching like whatever, or if Jenkins, if they trade him, if we get a 5th or 6th round, good. That's fine. We're gonna have a bunch of cap space. We're gonna, like I said, hopefully we're tweaking things around. I'm not too worried about whatever's happening this year. I just want to see the development of Fields. Hopefully he does well, and it's just the matter of the offensive line. Obviously, he's trying to build that back up. Defense, the picks that he's got. Let's see how he does. I'm just worried about these developments of these players that, that he drafted. Yeah, nice.
2-2.
Okay, nice. Little Sox update, breaking news. But yeah, I'm not too really worried about what's going on right now. Yep. It's all about developing Justin Fields. Beer Garden Jim said it, and I just think jinx, and I just want to see how that goes. They're comparing him. I don't know if you keep on hearing this, but they keep on comparing him to Josh Allen. Everybody was saying, "Oh, look at how he was with the first year and whatnot." I don't trust anything that. I can't even think of the coach's name from last year.
Dabble? Or no, it was the offensive
No,
coordinator.
no.
Matt Nagy. Yeah,
Matt
No,
Nagy. Yeah, I don't trust anything for his development with Nagy. So, I'm just more looking towards of what he does in year 2. There's some people out there that are still not sold with Justin Fields. I am. I think he's the guy. You just got to give him a little bit of time. But yeah, anything that happens during training camp or whatever, I'm not too worried about it.
So I was just gonna mention, like, Jason, you talked about not hearing anything from Mooney, and I said it's early and we shouldn't look much into week 1, but I did like that highlight that they showed of Justin Fields working on play action with Luke Getsy, and everyone's like, right away, this is straight out of the Green Bay Packers playbook, and the play action looked a lot like Aaron Rodgers' style of play action and stuff like that. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, like you said, Johnny, and Beer Garden Jim said, development of Justin Fields, the ability of Luke Getsy to call plays, and Matt Eberflus. Like, that's what we should worry about this season. Is, do we have a QB1 for the foreseeable future? Do we have a competent offensive coordinator and the head coach? And hopefully we do, and then we go from there. Because like you said, we build in the draft, we build in free agency next year with the salary cap and stuff, and go from there. Everything else is non-consequential. Like, I don't care, the defense, and if Roquan wants to hold out. Obviously, I would like Jalen Johnson to take the next step, because I do like Jalen Johnson. I think he's going to be very good. But it's all Justin Fields or bust. Like, that's what we should be looking for.
Or Justin Fields doesn't pan out and we just import Trevor Lawrence to play at Soldier Field.
Oh, so you want to talk about the
No, I don't want to talk about the Jaguar. No, I don't need my conscience fucked up with 2 bad football teams in the same city. Like, I can only focus. We got the Sox, they're bad, Cubs are bad, Bulls are okay, decent, Hawks are bad. I don't need to talk about more fucking bad sports teams in my head right now. I can only take so much for my mental anguish.
But
you don't even
that's
let
all
me
we
talk
have.
about the fire.
Yeah, we love misery. There you go. And more misery. Keep on going. Bah.
I can't. Yeah, there's a basketball season yet, because that might be the only team that's worth watching come fall, man.
We've talked some professional wrestling on this podcast. That might be we might be heavy on pro wrestling in the wintertime, because our sports teams are not going to be fun. And I do like the Bulls. I like what the Bulls are doing, but we're not a basketball podcast by any means.
No, I might have to start actually watching more basketball then.
Oh yeah, Johnny, you got college basketball, although you're Illini.
The Illini, yeah.
Hey, just a breaking tweet right now. Ruiz is warming up in the bullpen for the 8th. So good job. That's what happens when we're down a run. Let's put Jose Ruiz in. Good old Tony. Tony's like that. Tony La Russa is like the Bart versus Lisa playing paper, rock, scissors. Good old Rock. Nothing beats Rock. Poor predictable Bart. Always chooses Rock. That's Tony. He always chooses Foster and Ruiz. So let's talk about how we magically survived this weekend here, because we got Joey P on here, and we wanted to have a video for him as well, because
we do.
So I turned 40 and I decided, fuck it, I'm not gonna act my age. We're running it back. We're doing.
You did not act your age.
Nope. We're running it back. We're doing some drinking games. There were some, and I actually, in my basement, I put down shot Plinko. So if you took a chance on the dropping the ball, you can.
I got a video for those people watching.
We had the 2 middle cup was a nice Weller 12, and then the next to it was some Malort. Then we had tequila, vodka, Fireball, and Jaeger on there. So there was, and Jameson as well. And then we also decided I'm not catering for 30 people. I just bought a whole bunch of fast food, and I bought the best drunk fast food that you could possibly imagine. So we had a bunch of Little Caesars pizzas, some crazy bread, case of sliders, bunch of Taco Bell party packs, Jimmy John's, Wendy's Junior cheeseburgers, McDonald's nuggets, large fries for McDonald's, and then a whole bunch of just like chips, salsa, and all the taco dip and everything like that. So I mean, like, you guys fucking ate like kings at the house.
I had 3 cheeseburgers.
I ate like a
Jimmy John's
college
sandwiches.
student. I don't know about kings. We ate like college students, which was fine because we were basically acting like college students. This is exactly Beer Garden Jim put it perfectly.
Yeah, you guys were Clemson, man. You guys came to my house and I just bought you a whole bunch of burgers.
Damn good
So
meals I had.
I got the video of Shot Plinko. Shout out Joey P. He's our P1, longtime friend of the program, longtime friend in general. So this is him playing Shot Plinko.
Fireball! Fireball for Joe!
So that didn't bounce as much as I was hoping for in the video.
No,
but there were some people who got like, I think Joey P did too much with the magic, trying to, psych himself out there.
But that Shot Plinko was, I mean, you learned firsthand how dangerous it really was because while we were watching UFC in between rounds, for some reason, you just you're 40 years old. It was your 40th birthday party, and you just fell on the peer pressure like we were back in like 18 years old. Like as soon as somebody said a shot, you're like, all right.
There's 30 people chanting Jason shot, Jason shot, Jason. And then I just let the Plinko decide my fate. So there was some Malort there. I got some tequila as well. It was.
I did them like during that UFC main event. You took like 7 shots in less than like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's where I want to give you credit is the fact that I text the group Sunday morning, not expecting you to answer or anything like that. You were up at like 8:30 in the morning, which was credit to you. I didn't think you were going to be alive, let alone up and at 'em.
Well, also credit to Sarah for waking me up because I had to go do my COVID test for my my cosmetic surgery on tomorrow morning. So I had to get I had to get my COVID test, but yeah, I guess my alarm didn't go off, and I somehow ended up in the spare bedroom, not thinking, and she woke me up, and I was like, where am I? Where's my phone wasn't with me, like my alarm didn't go off, so thank God she was up with the dog and woke me up, because I probably would have missed my test, but yeah, I was up and just did what I had to do. I actually slept through the entire Sox game on Sunday. Like I put the game on and I lay on the couch, and then next thing I know, Liam Hendricks is on the mound, like closing it out. So I literally slept the entire day on Sunday, but went to bed around 2 a.m. That's when the last people like left around. We cleaned up a little bit, just a lot of shots. Also hiring the bartender. I can never recommend that enough. If you're having a party with a big event, hire a bartender because
that guy was awesome.
Yeah. You want old fashions, you want mixed drinks. He's pouring the shots for everyone. My friend, my friend runs a company. Yeah, my friend runs a company. If anyone's ever looking for a bartender for a party, reach out to me. I got a plug on that. But yeah, that was a fun time, man. And it was like not only did we have like the Shot Plinko, but we had like I had the shuffleboard going, we had beer pong, we had Jenga going, like.
It was basically like we were 20 again, and we were all 40-year-old, married, kids. And we just ran the clock back. It was fun. It was a good job.
I will say that I told Sarah this. I wish I could turn 40 every year because I got some of the best gifts of my life at the age of 40.
And I'm not getting you those gifts for 38, 39, man.
Yeah, no, I got some fucking amazing presents this year.
He's gone.
I mean, how can you go wrong with getting
Star Wars AT-AT? I mean, I shouldn't talk.
A Lego Infinity Gauntlet, man. Like those are fucking GOAT gifts right there, man. Getting Legos as a 40-year-old man. But not only that,
happy bar mitzvah, Jason.
Yeah, but not only that, like getting like amazing bottles of bourbon and tequila and everything. Like,
That's what I thought you were gonna pull out. I swear to God, I thought you were gonna pull out a bottle of
That's what
bourbon.
I thought too.
You pulled out Lego sets.
The toys. Did
no,
you
I
get
mean,
Play-Doh too?
no, but like I said, I did get some very nice. Like the Orphan Barrel bourbon was a very nice selection. So
Yeah, I'm excited to come over. And by the way, thank you for giving me the VIP access. When I got there, I went downstairs and that bartender was, holding court in your basement. And I would just unassuming walk to the liquor closet and I'm like, I'm gonna pour myself a good bourbon. And right away he's like, you're not allowed. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what does that mean?
that's
He's
right.
like, oh no. He's like, I'm not allowed to pour any of the good stuff to anybody without Jason's permission. And right away I made a beeline to Jason. I'm like, hey man, we gotta talk to this guy.
Not only did you get denied, but Diana got denied too. Like there were some people going for the good stuff, and I'm like, I'm like, you got the VIP because you contribute. You contribute to the bourbon collection. Like you help find you help find stuff and everything. Like, yeah, I just didn't want some of the people down there who just start grabbing fucking Wellers or some purple tops or something, and
Russell 13 and just chugging it. Yeah, no, I got you. I understand why you did it, but I was kind of taken aback when I'm like, oh shit, I'm not allowed.
Also, I actually bought like the perfect amount of food. Like there was like one taco left and like one pizza left and a couple Jimmy John sandwiches. Everybody else ate like all the burgers and like tacos and everything. Like it was.
That's what we kind of figured, that it was going to be gone. Like the whole thing was going to be gone. So you made it perfectly clear that
and now that we're all adults, we kind of know how to pace ourselves. So it's like I would do a shot of do the shot plinko, go upstairs, grab a slider, go grab a bottle of water, come back downstairs, do another shot, and it was like rinse and repeat the rest of the night.
Unless you're watching UFC and everyone just starts chanting, do a shot. And then,
well, you didn't have to go anywhere. So
that's I did have to go somewhere early in the morning, which
peer pressure. It's a bitch.
Yeah, peer pressure. All right. So you wanted to talk about a little Lala here.
Speaking about being in our 20s, I enjoyed Lala all weekend long from my couch. And I've been doing this for the last couple of like festivals, whether it's Coachella or whoever streams their service. And Lala was on Hulu. Johnny, you watched as well.
Yeah,
you watched that Green Day set. We were texting back and forth. And I know I'm a huge live music. I like to attend concerts. My wife liked to attend concerts, but we know our like festival time is limited. We have to pick and choose our spots, and we haven't been to Lala for a while. So it was nice to be able to catch some of the stuff on the streaming service. So I watched all of Metallica's set on Friday. I watched, I'm an emo guy. I watched Dashboard Confessional on Saturday and then Green Day on Sunday. It was just nice not having
to watch BTS.
I did not watch any of the BTS guys or the guy.
Oh, they were there?
One of the guys was headlining opposite of Green Day. But I just thought it was, obviously we're old now. It was a nice way to save my knees so that next month I can actually attend Riot Fest. So I'll be at Riot Fest for Friday and Sunday. But yeah, man, I just enjoyed it. I thought Metallica put on a freaking hell of a show, and I'm not even that big of a Metallica guy. And then Green Day, Johnny, we were talking back and forth. It was just that. It was
pretty cool that they did that. That Green Day did the show at the Metro too.
So and that's
they did
another
that last minute pre-show, pre-Lala party.
The last couple of years, and not even the last couple of years, but before kids, we were kind of not doing the Lala and just doing a lot of the Lala after shows, because that's where you really get to see somebody in like a small intimate venue and stuff like that. So yeah. I'm still a big fan of Lala. Obviously it sucks. It's basically all kids like on drugs, and it's changed a lot since.
Speaking of which, did you see that flyer from the mayor's office?
I did.
That was just talk about like not being self-aware about stuff. It's like, I understand what they're trying to do is like a public service announcement, but it's like, hey, stay safe this weekend. Like, take your drugs with other people around you. Make sure you test your drugs. What the you gonna think some fucking 17, 18-year-old kid's gonna come with a fucking chem lab and put their fucking cocaine or whatever and heroin in the fucking swirl it around and be like, oh, yep, that's what I really got. I really bought crack today. Let's go do it, guys, together as friends.
So I saw that flyer.
Stupid as shit.
I saw your flyer. I saw you complaining about your flyer. So I ended up photoshopping the flyer, and I don't have it up now. But it was basically like the mayor's office was saying, like, win or lose, we still booze. That's basically the message you're sending.
So it's like, but like, so by test your drugs, you mean do them, because like you're not
Well,
bringing
yes, they're gonna be doing drugs. Like at this point,
Yeah.
you know, like the cat's out of the bag. Everybody there is on drugs.
So like, let's test your drugs. So who's the guinea pig in your group of friends? All right, let's see if this is actually coke. Why don't you go test these drugs for us, and then let us know what happens to you. And if you don't overdose or die right away, then we all know we got good stuff. Otherwise, you might have got some fentanyl. And nice knowing you.
Shit. I just wanted to talk about American Idiot for a second. Now we're doing heavy drugs.
But I just think that's a stupid fucking message. Test your drugs. Like, you're gonna buy drugs, you're not gonna test them. You're gonna just do. And then no, the other thing was like bring a Narcan or something like that. So like, yeah, you're gonna like fucking just.
But they were handing them out, or like you could
really?
ask for them. Yeah, you could ask for them, and they would give them to you.
Fucking go to Lala, and it's like straight up Pulp Fiction, jamming fucking needles in.
Well, that's the same joke we're gonna say. We're going to Lala. We're gonna ask for Tums and allergy medication.
See, and I did put a bowl of Tums out for the party because I'm a good person. So like in the little candy dish, I just put a whole fucking bowl of Tums, because if you're gonna be drinking and eating fast food, I'm a good guy. I know what happens when you eat a lot of fast food. Like, so I made sure that you guys were well taken care of. And yes, always buy your drugs from a reputable dealer. Like, make sure you don't get some
5 stars on Yelp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, I mean, I was just saying I enjoyed myself not having to be at Lala, but still enjoying Lala, and I'm gonna keep doing that for the foreseeable future.
So yeah, let me know if let's see if at Riot Fest how many drugs are gonna be. If it's a little more older, mature crowd at Riot Fest. So
it's mostly weed, maybe some heroin, but mostly weed.
Heron.
All
right, I got my question for you.
All right, it's always fun.
All right. Question of the week is: at this moment in time, right now, at 9:42 p.m., how many people in the world do you think are having sex right now, percentage wise?
A shit ton. I don't even know how to quantify that. If you were gonna ask me a question that involved math, you should have gave me. I need my spiral. I need a calculator, and I'm gonna need about 15 minutes or so.
How many
you said the world, right?
The world,
yeah,
right?
In the whole world. How many people do you think at this moment are fucking right now, at this exact second?
I don't know, but there's a good chance. What if it's your parents? I'm just saying, there's so many people fucking in the world. It could be any of our parents.
What do you think? Maybe,
Joey P Joey P hasn't been commenting right now. Maybe he's got a day off. Maybe it's Joey P. Maybe Fishbones is out there. I'm just saying, there's so many people.
Well,
I mean,
we all know we all know Fishbones doesn't like his wife, so that's
mean. Yeah, that was a low blow. That's a low blow.
That sounds mean. You ask him yourself, and it'll be like
97. We've done 97 of these shows. We've never edited anything out of any of the podcasts. I'm gonna have to go back and edit this out.
You ask him yourself. He says, "I hate her."
Oh,
okay,
no.
but I'm gonna go with maybe a solid. I'm gonna say like a good 15% of the world right now is fucking.
That's too much. Too much? I said that's a lot, but no, 15%.
Yeah, why not? Why? There's like what 5 billion people in the world.
No,
Beer Garden Jim's got it at 2 to 3%. I would say 1%, a solid 1%.
At this
moment, there's 7 billion. There's like 7 billion people.
Yeah. So what's
and Joey P just finished.
All right, so I gotta bust out my calculator right now. So
I'm gonna thank Beer Garden Jim for watching this whole show, because he's bringing logic and reasoning. You got to take away some age ranges. So I guess
the time zones, the day.
So if there's 7 billion people in the world, 2% is 140 million people right now having sex. So you divide that by 2, and that's 70 million fuck sessions going on in the moment right now. You think, like, look at the porn industry. There's probably a lot of porn being made right now on a Monday night in the Valley. So that probably counts for a good chunk of it right there.
That's not that much of a chunk.
Maybe 0.5.
See, these are the kind of statistics I want to see. Like, could you ever watch like the?
I'm googling it.
Okay, that's a good question. But did you ever see like on those like you watch a commercial or something like that, and they'll have like some random percentage of people like will have this symptom or something like that. Like, who comes up with these like stats? Like, I want to know who comes up with like random percentage stats because like I want the good stuff here. I want to know how many people are having sex right now at the moment.
All right, so I've got an answer for you from Quora. You want me to read it out?
Yeah, read it out.
All right. So there's 7.5 billion people in the world. Assume 1/3 of that is sexually active. So 2.5 billion. Assume average of 1 times per week. So this week, 2.25 billion sex sessions. That means today it would be 32 million people. And then it goes through some crazy math. Average duration, 7 minutes. Kudos to them. So then he goes through some crazy math that I can't figure out right now, but it says final answer 1.55 million people in the world right now.
Okay. 1.55 million people. That's a good number. Good for them. No, I lost my train of thought. It's like when you see those stats, like one person is kidnapped every 30 seconds, so like help prevent people being kidnapped or something like just random stupid stat like that. So like if they can figure that out, then they should be able to figure out how many people are having sex right now at this given moment. So
I think Beer Garden Jim was onto something. Smart fella.
Yeah. So to the 1.55 million people, congrats on the sex right now.
Congrats to everybody involved.
All right, Peter, what was you said you had a quick question.
I did have a question of the week. It's nowhere near as intricate as yours. I heard this on a separate podcast because people were talking about, the Mega Millions being at 1.3 billion, and you saw the meathead takes. Jason, maybe you were one of them that said like, I would buy the White Sox, or even though like that's still not enough money to buy a sports franchise. But say you were to buy a sports franchise or you were just like gifted the opportunity, because we all think about it. We're a sports podcast. But realistically, you have to guarantee a championship for your team. And you're the owner GM like Jerry Jones. What sport are you picking?
I'd probably still go baseball.
You think baseball is easier to win a championship?
Yeah, I mean, like, well, okay, think about it this way. Like, how many dynasties are there? Basketball is probably the easiest. Okay, so if you want to guarantee,
I disagree.
Basketball is you really with all like the Warriors and the Lakers and fucking all those Heat.
So you have to luck out. Like, you have to have a generational talent on your team in basketball. And like a lot of the times you can't buy that like in baseball. The Steph Currys and the LeBron. Obviously LeBron you can because he flip-flopped and went all over the place. But like Jordan getting drafted by the Bulls, a lot of that is luck. Like you can't just buy a championship in basketball. Once you have that building block, then you can build around it. But it's still only like, like obviously there's only 5 starters and 5 players, but I still think it's a lot harder in basketball than it is in baseball. So that's what I was going to say. I think baseball realistically is the easiest between the Yankees, the Dodgers and stuff like that. Like you just buy your way, maybe not a championship, but you could buy your way into a playoffs every year. And you can't do that in most other sports.
Also, I want to say that if I did win the Mega Millions, which I obviously didn't because I'm still sitting here talking to you two slops, I think you could actually get whatever it was, like you clear like 600 million, 700 million after taxes if you do like all one lump sum or something like that.
Yeah, it was like 6 something.
Yeah. I think that's enough to get the Sox away from Jerry. Dude's fucking like what, 87 years old, 88 years old. He can't take his money with him.
That's
like what are you holding out for then, dude? Like take my 600 million and let me buy the Sox.
That would be like enough for controlling interest, but you would still have to get like a group of investors,
Yeah.
Like,
okay, I get the
you still be the majority owner.
Yeah, you could be the majority owner, but you're not owning the whole
I can
team.
override him every fucking day then.
Right.
So be like, shut up, Jerry. Go back to your nap. Like, we're going to go after Juan Soto here, and we're going to go all in and take what it can get.
No,
so, I think football is hard. It's hard as well. I don't think, building like an NFL. Yeah. that's tough. I know it's the shortest
Yeah.
season.
Well,
Like Sarah
also,
said.
that's the one sport where you get like one injury and your whole fucking season's done.
Yeah, and like like you see wild card teams going far every
Like
year.
Tom
so that
Brady,
gets tough.
Tom Brady fucks his ACL up. Patriots didn't do anything. Bears could have went back to back if fucking Jim McMahon didn't get fucking blindsided, cheap shot.
How much is the Fire worth? Their franchise.
Can't be much. Maybe a couple.
I
Coke
can
cans.
almost
No, it
now
is.
this is
It's like maybe like 2 to 3. I think at one point it was like under 100, but now it's like 2 to 300 million, or yeah, it's like 2 to 300.
now this is me being like the ego.
So
Unchecked.
you can't buy the
guarantee-
Bears because
I can
with them going to
guarantee-
Arlington, it's going to be like $5 billion valuation.
I will guarantee I could win a MLS championship.
Even with the
How-
MLS rules that they have.
Yeah, currently structured. I could do a lot better than whatever the Fire front office is doing right now. And this is like me playing some bullshit, rec league most of my life. I mean, a little bit of college, but give me the Fire. Give me 5 years with the Fire. Somebody buy me the Fire so I could turn this franchise around.
I would pick. Yeah, I would pick the Sox as well too, and it's not because
I think it's baseball.
Yeah, it not only because I think it's easier. There's no cap whatsoever. Yes, it's a longer season, but you can you could do a lot of things with the money if you spend it well. Another thing too is because I'm not too far away from the park. I mean, this is somewhere where I grew up, so it's kind of like another thing. It's just like it's a childhood like thing as well. If I had that type of money, I would definitely buy the White Sox 100%.
Honestly, I wouldn't want that kind of stress. I'd freaking buy a golf course somewhere, buy a beach, and call it a day. So
you wouldn't want to be an owner of a sports franchise? I would. We're stressed out as being fans. What's the difference between being an owner? We're stressed.
That's true.
At least I can. If I own it, I can fix my own misery and be like, just go get me the top free agent in the market, and like maybe I'll feel a little
at least
better about
I
myself.
could fix that versus just have to worry about this guy who just doesn't want to do anything with the team. So yeah,
I did watch that winning
doesn't
time.
want to die either.
The winning time with on HBO with Jerry Buss. That guy, you guys should watch that. It was fucking fun.
I still gotta watch that.
Like Jerry Buss.
All right, you guys ready to bum some people?
Joey P's got the right idea. Start a wrestling promotion. Just buy it off the cons.
That's right. All right, I'm gonna start it off with my bum, and now because I have to get this off my chest because it's been building for me for a week.
Oh.
I got to bum Jason Benetti.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Wait, what's going on? Hey, come on.
Yeah, there's not much White Sox that we
he
like.
snubbed Beef Loaf.
They talked about that.
Or the Sox Match video.
They talked about that on the One Away podcast.
Yeah, did not stand for that at all. And I tweeted at him and said, please rectify this so I don't have to bum you and I'll make you my MVP. They did not rectify it. So I have to I have to be a man of my word, and I have to bum Jason Benetti for arguably excluding the best Sox Math video of the whole season, which actually turned the season around for us. I mean, that was a turning point right there. It can't be argued. We started actually scoring some more runs. And I think
did see the stat that they were 6-11 in July, or 16-11 in July, which was shocking because it seemed like they've been under 500 the whole season.
Yeah, so hopefully we get another win for Sox Math from Beef, and then maybe he can get in for like the August, September hopper there. But that snub was atrocious. Egregious.
I agree, and they talked about it on their show, and he was saying that like maybe they did it on purpose to get a little more traction, headlines, clickbait, if you will, by Benetti. But I thought you were gonna bum him for taking the bag and going to.
Oh no, I'm never gonna bum someone taking the bag.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going
I would love to see him as like the new Joe Buck guy, because I think
that's gonna happen. That's gonna happen sooner.
Probably will, and once he goes, we still have Len Casper to be calling games.
Yeah.
So I see pretty much predict Len Casper will be the new play-by-play guy.
The only good depth the White Sox have is in the announce booth.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we get our top guys poached to the big leagues. It's like Oh, whatever. Good for him though. I'm happy he's got his bag. But yeah, I didn't like the snub. All right, so Johnny, go ahead and do your bum and MVP here.
Well, the bum might be a little bit of a surprise, just because I know we're all wrestling fans here. But I know, Peter, you talked about it before. The stuff that happened on, I think it was Saturday or Sunday, I forgot.
Yeah, yesterday.
This whole Ric Flair last
SummerSlam.
match thing. Yeah, no. It's the Ric Flair last match thing. I love Ric Flair. I'm not saying he's like the greatest of all. I mean, yeah, he's up there for sure, but I still was not invested whatsoever in this last match thing. It just seemed like it was just, I don't know. I don't know if he needs the money. I don't know if it's just
Cash grab.
Ego, or I don't know. I'm not quite sure. The whole thing with when he fought Shawn Michaels, that was perfectly well done. Where that should have been his last match, and that was it. It was like the whole Michael Jordan shot against the Utah Jazz when he just posed right there. I don't know. I wasn't gonna pay for this whole thing or whatnot. I mean, to me it just seems kind of dumb to me. But I mean, people went to go see it. This is just my personal opinion, but yeah, I mean, I just wasn't really a big fan of this whole like Ric Flair last match.
I legit thought, I was like, I would put money on it. And I hate saying this. I would have put money on it that he would like fucking have a heart attack in the ring.
Well, the report came out like a couple of days before the fight that he's like, whenever I bleed, my heart pressure or blood pressure like goes out of whack, and I'm like, oh god, he's gonna. Obviously, nowadays you're not cutting yourself like you did back in the 80s and 90s. You know, they got the blood packets and they got the other things. But I'm like, if this guy blades himself, that's it. That's the last. That's the last time we see Ric Flair.
And that's why I couldn't watch it either, because I was just too worried that he was gonna just. I remember that one time he did the promo in WCW where he actually fucking faked the heart attack from going too crazy on the mic. Like,
well,
I was
he
afraid.
really did have a heart attack on. I wasn't sure if it was he had a heart attack while wrestling. Maybe it wasn't live.
No, but do you remember that promo he did in WCW where
Yeah.
he got super red and then he's like did the stumble and everything? Like, I thought that was gonna be like art imitating life at that point. That's why I couldn't watch it. But let's hope he doesn't do like a fucking Rolling Stones or fucking.
No, please, please, no.
Yeah,
no.
just end it. Be done with that. That's your last match. Don't do the whole swan song again, encore shit. Farewell. Like,
I just didn't think it was needed. Like, to me, it just seems so like just weird out of the loop. But anyways, that's my what about bum. My MVP, we were talking about it a little bit ago, is Lollapalooza, Green Day.
Mm-hmm.
They picked a girl to come up stage.
Emma, was it?
I think it wasn't it Mandy? I don't know.
Remember.
I can't remember. Anyways, they picked this girl to come on stage to do 3 chords, and she killed it.
Yeah, they do that a lot.
But
she did a good job.
Realistically, if you didn't know how to play guitar and all that, I would probably be fucking nervous as hell to go up there in front of all these people and fucking try to like either I'll mess up or something like that. Like, things would be going like just running out of my mind. But she killed it, and everybody was all like into it and all that. So I thought that was a real cool moment in that concert. So kudos to that girl, man. She did kill that.
Yeah, I mean it was an awesome show. It was.
Yeah,
she owned the
overall,
moment. It was great. She had that moment where she jumped from like the drum riser and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, she was doing like David Lee Roth type of stuff there.
Yeah.
All right, Peter, what do you got?
So my MVP, I got 2. The first one we talked about watching it at your place. It's UFC, the main event, Amanda Nunes and Juliana Pena. That was awesome fight. That's the second time they fought. Now they're 1-1. They kind of have to run it back at this point. But just kudos to both of them, man. I thought that fight was going to be over multiple times. And it just we talk about it every so often. We've talked about it on this podcast with like, big fight fields and like, sometimes with the McGregor fights, or very rarely in boxing does it happen nowadays. I like rooting for Canelo, but it seems like boxing is slowly dying. But this had that big fight feel, and it was awesome. So kudos to those girls, those women. It was an awesome fight, and I haven't seen many of those in a long time. I haven't been keeping up. We used to watch all of the UFC pay-per-views, Jason.
Yep.
And obviously it's tougher now with
you got one every
everything
week
else, and they
shit.
got one every week. But this one was awesome, and they put on a great show. So I just wanted to give them kudos because I'm excited for the third one. I'll be watching for sure. And then my second MVB, and I think this could be a consensus MVB, is the Red Shoes kid from Bears training camp. Because
yes.
if you guys didn't see the video, I got it lined up.
He's
and
the hero. He's the hero we need right now.
I'm gonna loop it a couple times. This kid did not give a fuck and just ignored George McCaskey and kind of just. I'll show you the video. I'm gonna loop it and then we'll come back. I could watch it 100 times. I mean, he is honorary Chicago sports bum for life, Red Shoes kid. He is all of us in that moment.
And you know what? Can we just say how cringe that was of George trying to be hip with the fist bumps and everything? Like,
it was just like that. Where did I see that? That was credit. So credit the CHGO football guys. But then Herb Lawrence retweeted it, and that's where I saw
instead
it.
Instead of George McCaskey like fist bumping everyone, he just needs to be like the Walmart greeter. Like, hi, welcome to Bears training camp. Hi, enjoy yourselves. Thank you for coming, everyone. He needs to be Walmart greeter. That's Walmart George. That's what he has to go from now on. Don't try to be hip George. You're not.
So, and then my bum of the week. I mean, it's no surprise. It's been all over the news. It's been all over Twitter and stuff like that. The NFL, the whole Deshaun Watson situation. I'm not going to get into it now, but it's just so bad how they handle all of these kind of things, dude. Like, for as big as we love to talk about NFL is king and, like Sunday's football, like they seem to have a lot of these issues, and slowly, like there's warts on the NFL's faces. And this is just the long history of them kind of fucking this shit up. The fact that he got 6 games when Calvin Ridley for gambling gets a season-long suspension just shows you that these NFL owners only give a fuck about their money and nothing else. Because you fuck with their money, they're going to suspend you swiftly for a year, and anything else, they just don't care. And it sucks. And I love the NFL. It's my number one, but like the more these stories come out, it's just like these guys, these owners and Goodell, like it sucks.
Also,
so, yeah,
there was a tweet today from someone at Brown's training camp that when Deshaun took the field, that the fans cheered him, which once again proves 2 things. One, yes, as we know, Cleveland fans are fucking scummy as fuck. But number 2, it proves that in football, you could be the biggest fucking scumbag, the biggest fucking asshole. As long as you throw the football very good or catch the football very good, people will cheer you. They don't care about what you do off the field as long as you win them football games on Sunday. And it's a sad reality of the fact. So Cleveland gonna Cleveland. That's all I gotta say.
Brown's gonna Browns.
Brown's gonna Brown. And then I'll just close it off. My MVP of the week is me for surviving my 40th, for putting on one hell of a fucking party for all you guys.
You're alive.
Yep. That's all I got.
Definitely it was a
no,
very
that's
good
not
party.
all we got, Jason. We've teased this all day long.
We did
that's
not hit.
We got.
We did not hit. No, that's not. We don't get to play the video. We didn't hit the required subscriber count today.
I appreciate Beer Garden
rules
Jim being
are
in
rules.
Here, Joey P.
You cannot
Everyone
have
that's
anarchy in the BumCast.
Yeah. You should. Go, girl. I'm on Foot Locker's website. I've been in there before. Come on, folks. Right? Yeah.
My finger slipped.
Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. You broke the rules. You
My
broke the
finger
rules.
slipped.
You said if we hit our subscriber count or goal for the day, we would play it. You brought anarchy to the BumCast, and
There is no way we were not going to play that video. Yes, I love that he's barefoot.
hey, I was it's my house. I was comfy. I needed my basketball. I needed my comfy clothes for all the food and drinking.
I will say I've been to your house. Beer Garden Jim, be happy that he had pants on.
All right. Well, okay.
So that's that was
there's
my
the-
MVP, Jason. You dancing, you being the life of the party. There's been much to say about this Whitney Houston song, and now it's out there for the world.
Also, you actually knew about it like 12 years ago because you tagged me in a Facebook post about me dancing to that, and you couldn't believe your eyes, but you just never remembered it.
Anytime Whitney Houston comes on, Jason is something else.
You're
What
like
can I
that popular flower pot whenever the music came on. Like that's how
That
you
toy,
were.
yeah,
Yeah, that with the sunglasses. Yeah.
yeah.
That's when Whitney Houston comes on, you just gotta dance. So it was good.
Somebody just
Jason.
you just want someone to dance with, you know,
Yeah, there you
somebody to
go.
love.
All
All right,
guys.
well, that ends our show. I mean, couple quick things. We are going to be giving away another Eloy Lubab bobblehead.
Ooh, I got it somewhere around here.
Yeah, well, it's going to be coming. We're going to be doing the raffle this week. Number 2, our 100th episode is coming up in a couple weeks. We're going to try to spitball some ideas, maybe do a live broadcast from the Sox game.
Tailgate.
TBD.
We'll
Yes,
have a
tailgate party.
100th episode tailgate for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, news on that soon. And we got a couple guests lined up for the next coming podcast.
Yeah, so we're going to do another round of fantasy football talk with John Dabari. He's going to be coming on in I think 2 weeks from now, and we will be doing a live Q&A. So if you got questions about your fantasy team, which guys you sleepers, keepers, all that good stuff, John Dabari will be on here. And then after our 100th episode for the 101, we're going to have our good friend Rob Schwartz Jr. back on the show. He's going to be talking all things Bears since the preseason and training camp will be over. So we're going to do our Bears predictions and Bears just talk about the roster and everything after the cuts. So couple good shows coming up in the next couple of weeks. So other than that, guys, thanks for a wonderful show, and we'll see you next week.
Good night, Beer Garden Jim. Good night, Joey.
See you, everybody.